Rakako!
Village.
He's dead.
Dude, that sucks.
You know what's crazy about that, Will?
Why didn't they kill her? Why did they leave her? Again!
I was watching somebody else watch the show. You know the two twins? The little baby titans that eat each other outside the castle?
Yeah.
Apparently, that's Connie's siblings.
No, it's not.
I think.
That's so fucked up.
That's season 2, my favorite season. Alright, that's a spoiler.
Hey everybody,
I'm Sam.
I'm Will.
And I'm Adam. And we are
Working Title! Thunderbird bomb missile.
Spear.
Thunderbird.
Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah. What are they called?
Thunder
Spears.
Thunder Spears. my
Thunder
bad.
Thighs.
Thunderbird.
Callback. Hey yo.
Anyways.
We're back. It is that time. Attack on Titan, the final season. 84. Night of the End.
What?
Last on the Avengers, or some of you are calling them the Cringe Vengers, have assembled. The disrespect.
Come on, man. Like, I love that.
The fan base, you
Yeah.
can see it. The
I think
fan
it
base,
works.
how quickly a fan base can turn just from a single episode. Come on,
One
y'all.
scene, not even an episode. One scene.
Avengers. This is an Avengers level event. Connie, Annie, Mikasa, Hanji, Levi, Peak, Maggot. The crew is assembling. I don't even know what's gonna happen. Levi's alive.
And Reiner,
Is sleeping.
again, the sleepiest man.
I thought he was. He's with them.
Yeah, he's sleeping.
Okay.
They kicked him in the head.
They're like, yo,
Said it's time to wake up.
to save the world.
If you enjoy this reaction, make sure you leave a like, subscribe to the channel if you enjoy our content, leave a comment down below what your thoughts are. Are they Cringe Vengers? Are they Avengers? Are they Revengers?
Devengers.
Or just the Team Titans?
Go!
Go check out our Patreon. If you haven't seen our monthly schedule, we just added Arcane and Demon Slayer to the list. So if you enjoy anime, go check that out. If you want to see some other shows, we also have Full Metal for you still as well. And we're grinding through that, and it's fun as hell. So make sure you check out that show. And for the time being, go support the show. And we're going to jump into it. Okay.
Bah!
いや当然セントラルの一等地を要求する
John?
朝だろうと昼だろうと上等の酒をかっくらっている
Let's go.
Is this like his family?
I think so.
嫁も子供も
Wife,
孫
kids.
の代まで死
Is
ぬ
that
Mikasa?
Mikasa?
Whoa!
Yeah, there's the
Is
scar.
this real or a dream?
This is his reality.
Yeah.
Oh, look at
Wow, that
that.
looks awesome. Modern Paradise?
Oh, this. Okay, now we're getting this info. Okay. Is he
The
listening?
rumbling.
俺は気がつかなかった何も聞かなかった
Oh, he's still like debating.
この町としていればセントラルの一等地
Oh, he's still fighting up with that, man.
よく来たね。じゃあ私たちは車力の巨人だ。マーレ残党と手を組んだ。エレンを止めるためだ。皆殺しは間違ってる。
Yeah. Agreed.
どうやって止めるんですか。まず協力者を集める。
Gather the
だが
Titans.
君たちは9つの巨人がなければ何もできない。
More of the nine.
そしてその上で聞くべきやります。これ
She's
以上
in.
に虐殺なんてさせたくありません。
Yes.
それが私たちやこの島を守るためであっても
Yeah.
エレンを止めないんです。
Yeah, we can't let him do this.
本当にエレンを止められたとしてどうするつもりですか
Yeah, this is gonna be really bad, like
エレンがその
aftermath.
力を維持できたとしてもあと4年の命ならその後この島はどうなりますか
You
その後
have to
何十
convince
年
him
後の
to
未来もずっと
destroy the Titans.
でもそうやって可能性を探してるうちに時間が過ぎて何一つ解決できなかっただからエレンは世界を消そう
虐殺はダメだ。 これを肯定する理由があってたまるか。
This is tough, dude. Oh god, I feel them both.
人類の自由のために心臓を捧げた仲間が
So
大安は壁の外に人類がいるなんて知らずに死んでい
yeah,
た。
a lot of people gave their lives for this.
だけどこの島だけに自由をもたらせばそれで
Whoa.
Damn.
そんなケチなこと言う仲間はいないだろう。
Me.
虐殺を止めることができるのは
I miss these people, man.
Yeah, the music.
Oh my god, he's gonna. Yeah, I had a feeling that was coming. I had a feeling that was coming, man.
ハンジさん
I'm in.
俺は
Let's go!
You kept those bones for a reason. Or you threw them away. I don't really remember.
Yeah.
Oh, potatoes. Sasha.
Rest in peace.
Surprise, motherfucker.
Ew.
Fuck.
Imagine just
誰
hanging
か
out
手
with
伝
that.
ってくれないかな。
エレン・イエーガーを放っておけばお前らが望む世界が手に入るのだぞ。島の悪魔どもの楽園だな。
They weren't a part of that
あと
plan.
少しのところでエレンとジークの接触を阻止できた。
That is true, though.
お前らが奴らの手助けをしなければな。
説明した通りだよ、原
They took a
生。
gamble and they got it wrong.
私たちは虐殺なんて望んでない。じゃなきゃこそこそ森に逃げ隠れてシチューなんか作ってないよ。
That's a fair point.
あんたらが送り続けてきた巨人に抵抗してきた俺たちが悪だったのか。
Not,
That's what they
not
did.
Maggot, I
俺
don't
たちは
know.
必死に戦ったの。巨人に食い殺されたくなかったからだ。それが悪魔の所業だって言っているのかよ、おっさん。ああ、お前たちは悪魔に見える。愛と虚栄論は現実となる。今や世界は滅びつつある。
But, like, you provoked
Yeah.
it. That's the
結
thing.
果がこれだ。エレンはこんなことしてねえよ。死ならしまで追い詰めたのはお前らだろうが。
That's good point.
歴史の話
Yeah,
あ
and this is what I'm saying. We can go back every single.
蹂躙したのはエルディアだってことぐらいは理解してるんだろう。
Yeah.
2000年も前のことでいつまで被害者すらして
Oh, this is so good.
I love it.
そのようなたわごとが実在する2000年の歴史に通用すると思っているのか。
Oh,
なんだと。
Good points all around.
ああ、やめよう。
Shut up and
見
eat
たわ
some
けでもない2000年前のいざこざ話なんて退屈だ。この島を根絶やしにしようとした世界の人々を楽園を捨ててまで助けようとする奇怪な悪魔の存
Because
在。
you guys are awesome.
外の世界で数ヶ月暮らした。もう何も知らない島の悪魔には戻れない。
yeah. They saw the rest of the world.
エレンを殺せるの。
I don't know.
エレンを止める方法は殺すだけじゃない。あんたならそう言うと思ったけど、それじゃあ何？説得でもするの？
That I
そ
honestly
れで
I
反
feel
対
like
をしてない
yeah.
やつが人類大虐殺なんて実行する。
I'm on Andy's side. How are you gonna convince him to not?
It's Mikasa and
エレン
Armin.
と
If
話して
they
みないと。じゃあエレンを殺そうとするなら、あんたらはエレンを守るために私たちと戦うことになる。きっと。結局はそうでしょ。ミカさん。
Come on,
あん
man.
たにとってエレンより大事なものなんて考えたこともないだろうからね。
stop, come
つま
on.
り私を殺すべきだと。
レオンハート。
Alright, put the claws away.
Oh, Anya Capone. I forgot they snatched up him and Yolanda too.
Yeah, they're all here.
Heck yeah.
What does that mean?
あん
Fuck.
たの気持ちはよくわかる。私もエレンを止めたい理由は一つ。
Return to my father.
父親を殺されたくないから。だか
You?
らあんた
They
に
got
助ける。
Curry. Marley's first spot. They go
Yeah.
to guaranteed.
わかった。
はいはいはい。さあ、シチューができたよ。食べよう。
Shouldn't we be like on the move? Like
Strategizing.
even though the rest of the story is 5 hours. Oh my god.
清美さん曰く地ならしの視察用に飛行艇を港に用意し
Oh
てい
yeah,
る
they
らし
left that, didn't they?
い闇雲に飛んでもすぐに燃料が尽
You
き
got Titans that can push it.
いや。
だからこいつをさらったいい映画がまず
Where do you
向かう先
think?
はどこだ
Yeah, I mean, come on. He's got to be going Marley first.
知ってたとしてなぜ私が答える必要
Oh,
が
Oh, Yelena.
Throw her back in the car, Titan. No one cares about her.
死を犯したのはお前だ
なぜ私がマーレ人のクソ野郎に協力する必要があるのかと聞いている
あんたの命をこっちが握っ
She
てる
doesn't
から
care
でしょ
about her life anymore.
無駄な不思議だな
Exactly.
yeah.
でも自分の故郷のためにマーレと戦ってたんだろ
No,
う
she
故
only
郷
cares
が
about
このまま
Zeke.
踏み潰されてもいいのか
構
よ
わないだろうなぜならこいつも同じクソ野郎のマーレ人だからと
So that wasn't even true.
レベリオであなたにまんまとやられたからねイエレナ
Oh, that's so scary.
洗いざらい調べて驚いた
Wait,
ごく
what?
一般的なマーレ人家庭の出自をマーレに併合された小国出身と偽ったジークと初めて出会った
So what's been her endgame?
マーレに失望していたあなたはある物語を作り出したそれは王子様と世界を救う奇跡の物語だとする
So she's just a
その
delusional
喜び方に
crazy.
敬服いたします
For passions to be admired. What?
世界を救うこれ以上に人を引きつける甘美な言葉があるでしょうか
Wow. With what?
ライナー・ブラウンあなたが壁に穴を開けたことでどれだけの
Oh, he's got to know that number
吸い
off
取らさ
top.
れたでしょうね
A lot of them.
アニー・レオンハートあなたも随分と調査兵団を殺したそうです
Yeah. The whole
I feel
Levi
like, I
squad.
feel like a
ストヘ
few
スクに大勢の
so
住民を
understand that.
潰したとか
Stohas, yeah.
普段は良識人のあなたがあそこまで
Oh,
破
Armin.
壊するとは
Dude, he murdered so many people.
民間人を含めどれだけの死体の山と戦果を挙げたことでしょう
Mm-hmm.
皆さんのレベリオでの勇姿を私は忘れてはいません
The Johns.
特にジャン
What did John do?
あなたは車力を撃つためにそこにいるファイト
dang, he did.
勇
Oh.
猛果敢に雷装を
He
打
tried
ち
to
込
kill
みま
that
した
kid.
そしてそこにいる少女ガビによってサシャは撃ち殺されましたサシャは本当にいい子でしたから
Damn.
私も悲しかっ
What about you, Elena?
た
Yelena?
しかし
Yeah.
You've popped some
訓練兵から
caps.
数え
美味しいですハンチさん
ああまだまだあるよ
They're just ignoring her. They're like, yeah, keep talking.
Should they really be drinking that?
ああ忘れてた何でしたっけ以前教えてもらったあなたの親友の名前は
If he says, if she says Marcos,
Yeah.
マ
beat her fucking ass right now. Beat her
確か
ass.
彼の死に兄が関わってると言ってましたよ
Oh
ね
my god, are we gonna actually talk about this right now?
And Reiner, too.
マルコの死の真相を
Uh,
You both.
They both were there.
私はマルコ個人に加わ
兄は俺の命令に従っただけだ
Oh.
マルコは俺とベルトルトの聞かれてはいけない会話を耳にした
He was such a good soul, man. He didn't deserve to die like that.
マルコが巨人に殺されればうまく口封じができると思った俺は
Damn.
マルコ最後に何か言ってなかったか
Duh.
俺たちはまだ話し合ってないって
Mm.
そうだよ俺たちはろくに話し合ってない
誰が想像できただろうか私たちが火を囲んで食事するなんて
Would have never
not
happened.
really.
Yeah. I never would
マ
have
ルコが
expected
巨人
this.
に食われるのを見ながら俺はなんでマルコが巨人に食われているんだと思った
And your split personality kicked in.
怒りに身を任せてその巨人を殺したよくもマルコをとか言いながらもういいってすまない
Shut up.
Oh!
Oh!
Fuck.
Oh, Gabby.
Dude, his eyes.
Dude, he punched his eyes out?
Yeah.
この島が悪魔が消えてなくなることを願い続けてました。そしたらお父さんやお母さんがレベリオのみんなが消えてなくなることになりましたよ。
Armin needs to go super close to the founding and go nuclear.
皆さんの助けが必要です。どうか私たちに力を貸してください。
Oh my gosh, Falco's a Titan, I forget.
地ならしを一緒に止めてください。
Tanjiro.
Fight your hand. I wanna see.
Ah.
Oh, hey.
So damn noisy. Gotta love it. Levi didn't even voice an opinion.
I forgot he was with us. Are we done? Oh, no.
アキラ出発の時間だ。
協力してくれるの？
No.
Yeah, of course. Of course.
Oh no.
What? Why don't know?
No. He ain't Connie trying to be sneaky.
Okay.
Your injuries healed a long time ago.
What a motley crew.
She caught that in the... I'm not...
Yeah.
Yeah, honestly. And Reiner's like he's a Titan. He literally would have killed him right there. Like, actually.
シャイキだ。何があったよ。
港が家が
Damn it.
されています。
Oh no.
おそらくは機関車で先回りしたの
Yeah,
でし
I
ょう。
know this song.
I was gonna say,
Yeah.
aren't there train tracks somewhere?
戦闘態勢でした。
They're waiting.
Oh no.
John, or what's his face?
Oh, they got the...
Oh wow. What the fuck?
They kidnapped her.
Now it's over.
I've always hated Flock. I've always hated this fucking rat, dude. He just won't go away.
Alright, y'all. That was another episode of Attack on Titan. What was it called again?
End of the
The
end of night. End of the night.
The night of the end.
The
Night
night
of
of
the
the
end. Yeah.
The Night of
Episode
the Living
84.
Dead.
Great movie.
Yes.
Oh no, I haven't seen it.
I gotta say, I don't know about you guys. I love this episode.
Yeah.
Like a lot. I actually didn't, the past couple episodes, like pacing has just kind of felt weird.
Yeah.
Because it's kind of like we're just tying up all of the loose ends. That's what I felt like.
While
the past
there's a lot
couple
of
episodes. While there's
stuff
while
happening.
there's a lot of really important stuff happening, it also felt like the minimal things that maybe don't mean as much or that are like kind of just like humps to get to the end that we have to go through.
Yeah.
We're getting all done through this past couple episodes. But I love this. I mean, this is like one of those moments where sorry. This is like one of those moments where you don't normally get this in a show or movie. Like, how many times do we ever get like all of the opposing forces they get to like actually sit down and kind of like
Share their thoughts and
and
ideologies.
experience and like what's going on.
Yeah.
Hold on. I'm having a Sam moment right now. Yeah, like we don't ever get to have that moment. And I mean, like, even as much, like, Jean was a huge center focus of this episode, but like, even the conversation of bringing up Marco, that was something I never thought that we would ever get. Like, I mean, we already knew what had happened at that point because we had seen the flashback.
It was definitely needed too.
Yeah, but we've seen the flashback of what happened with Reiner, but it was one of those things where it's like, you had said this off camera. We were talking about a different show, but like, you know, oh, this just happened off screen, whatever. Like, you know, it's like sometimes you have to infer that these conversations would have had happened because a lot of times you don't have time in TV shows and movies to do them. But I just love that we actually took the opportunity for everybody. Not everybody said everything. It was, you know, it really was like Yelena, Magath, Jean. That's really it. And Hanji in the beginning of the episode really having a conversation. A little bit of Annie and Mikasa.
Yeah.
But I mean, like, just something I would have never expected I would have never expected us to get at this point in the show.
Yeah. I'm glad you said that too, because like halfway through the episode I was like, weirdly enough, even though this is still not a part of like the Rumbling story, or like in the action of the Rumbling, I liked this more than the other episodes we've gotten. I think it might have been the past 3. Mm-hmm. Everything since Eren did the big monster thing.
Yeah.
Because what were the episodes we got? We got the Jean-centered one where they were in the tower. We got the follow-up, which was like Connie brushing the mom's teeth, whatever. Yeah. It was just like episodes that, I agree with you. Like, maybe would have been better if like the follow-up episode after the Rumbling begins to keep the hype alive for a bit was like maybe go and try to attack a couple Colossals, try to put in some damage and realize, okay, we can't do anything, now let's go and do whatever we need to get done. And then like ease us in. I think having such a hype episode followed up with like a very subpar episode was like a weird choice. Yeah. Where this felt great. Like this was like what I think I would have expected to happen.
Right after.
Well, like when we got to take a breather. So this was more enjoyable for me. Having people... Well, I also like having all the characters...
Together.
Just finally talk. And, like, kind of close doors on conversation pieces that, like you said, we've known about, but they haven't really fleshed out.
Yeah.
Because there's never been physical time for them
to
even
even
show.
speak, yeah.
Because Reiner, essentially, ever since knowing Eren was the Attack Titan all the way back in Season 1, has pretty much been removed from all of our Prime cast that wasn't including, like, Connie or whatever. Yeah. And then the second that he came in contact, we got the Warrior episode, and then from there on out, Reiner was, like, never with these guys until he got his face blown off in Shiganshina. So we've never had the time for 3 full seasons to get these kind of conversations. You know, what I'm really shocked at is just kind of how chill everybody is. I guess it's just because you get so used to Annie being such a cold killer, or Reiner being like the armored titan and fighting wars, that you forget that they can just be a person sitting down at the end of the day talking. Even though we got to see Reiner in Season 4 talking with his family, I think it's more of a shock to see Annie be reasonable and not kind of a lunatic killing people. Even though we know she's a normal person, it's just kind of wild to like see it with our characters.
And they've been pushed, I mean, to their wit's end. You know what I mean? Like, they don't really have an option right now but to convene and, you know, break bread with the enemy. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like, that's really the only choice they have at this point. And so, but, like, of course, in that, you have to talk out these things. Like, the initial conversation with Magath and Jean was, like, such a... I can't imagine this starting any other way. You know what I mean? Like, how else would this conversation even begin without somebody having this conversation immediately?
I agree with both of you. I was thinking, though, that I like that we're tying up loose ends, and I guess you'd call this Jean getting closure about Marco, maybe?
Yeah. Getting the answers.
I'm just tired of the past 3 episodes of the constant, what are we going to do about Eren? Why can't we just... I want an episode where we're all together and we come up with a plan, and I'd like to see Eren now at this point.
Yeah.
It's been a little too slow for me, but as I said, I like the tying up loose ends part.
No, I 100% agree. We talked off camera, me and Will and a couple other people, saying like, what's a little tricky about anime only being 20 minutes and waiting week to week is when you have an end of the world, it's kind of hard to keep up the ante of it when you have such long periods in between, because it's not like watching the 2012 movie where it's all in the course of 2 hours, so you can have the gradual build up. The end of the world comes, then you can just have the spectacle.
Yeah.
The rumbling has to be spread over time, and it's hard to keep the excitement alive.
Yeah.
Especially considering we've actually not really been with Eren at all since the start of the rumbling.
Yeah.
We don't even know what he looks like. We don't know how we're going to deal with him.
Or Zeke, too.
Yeah, we don't know. We can assume he's with Eren, but to what extent?
Yeah.
Like, is he physically able to be reached? Compared to a Bertold Colossal, are they as easy to fight? Are they a little bit different? Like, we don't know anything really of the rumbling itself. We really don't even know how Eren operates now. That's like the crazy thing. Like, there's a lot of like big things I feel like we still have to get to. So I think with the few past episodes, it's been like, come on, we're at like the peak of like what AOT has been building to. And as much as I love Keith or finishing up getting some Yelena stuff or getting some Flock stuff.
Having her talk, I enjoyed that.
Yeah, today's was good. I meant like previous stuff, all past
and the
episodes.
Tower, and all
like
that
the Connie stuff. As much as I think it was kind of goofy and like okay, I didn't really like it a whole lot. Where we are now, and I didn't say it here, but I think just having a week to dissect the last episode a bit more, I just felt like it was weird. Like I felt like it almost not character assassination. I really didn't like that they kind of made Connie go so dark so quickly, where it felt he's such a light-hearted character that was such like a, and now that's like gonna be like a bitter taste.
They stay
forever on going forward. I mean, he can still do heroic things, but at the end of the day, he's like trying to kill a child. So it's like
yeah. I just like, especially with that too, because I was thinking about this more after the fact of like the whole, like, yes, he didn't know the kid, and also this is a kid that is friends with the kid that killed Gabby, killed Sasha. So
closest friend.
Yeah, his closest friend. That's like
that was the squad.
That's his girl.
Yeah.
So I understand part of it being like F this kid. You know what I mean? Like F him. I'm just gonna kill him. But like I feel like too, if you're at that mind state where you were willing to do that, like why wouldn't he have like. Eren and Armin are his friends. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that he would even consider that. But I feel like if you're at that mental space where you're like, enough is enough, I'm willing to sacrifice a child that's really done nothing wrong, like, why wouldn't you be, like, willing to kill your friend? Yeah. You know what I mean? Not saying that that's, like, 100% like it has to be the case. And yes, I know, someone in the comments is going to be like, oh, but he's friends with the person that killed Sasha. It's like, okay, well, like, you know, Gabby wasn't, like, running around, you know, trying to kill like every single person. It was just like specific. She hated everybody, and she liked the idea of wanting to kill the Eldians, but it wasn't like Gabby was going around like killing everybody. Yeah. So even so, if Gabby got the Titan, it would have made 100% more sense. You know, if Gabby got the Jaw Titan and they took him or took her to get eaten, then I would have been like, oh, this is perfect. Kill two birds with one stone. He gets vengeance for Sasha, and he gets to bring his mom back to life. But, you know, instead it was Falco.
Speaking of that, since we don't really talk about Gabby much on the channel, do you think she'll ever inherit a Titan?
She's supposed to get armored.
Do you think, now you don't think?
Me personally, I mean, I think Titans will probably be over
by the time
by the time an opportunity arises. I just can't imagine that this story gets resolved to a good point of closure if Titans don't disappear at this stage of the game, because they brought it up in the episode. Well, if we stop Eren from doing that, you know, when Jean and Hanji were talking in the beginning of the episode, if we stop Eren from doing this, who says that the rest of the world is not going to want to hold us accountable still? And Hanji's like, well, you know, it'll hold them off for a couple years, and you know, Eren's only going to be alive for a couple years longer. So it's like, you know, again, it's one of those things where, like, this is just going to recycle itself until it comes to a head again, and either we get a worse Eren that cannot be reasoned with at all. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, the cycle of the hatred in this world that has led to this moment is already created the Eren that we know today. Yeah. It's created this monster that's willing to kill 99.9% of the world because he wants to just protect his family. Whereas, like, you know, who knows? By the end of this, it could if this was progressed farther and we managed to keep Titans alive and, you know, stop Eren, it could be even worse farther down the line. And I know it's hard to get. How much worse can you get than what we already have? Yeah. But I don't know. It's
Or are they going to spend the next 4 years anticipating an attack from somebody?
Well, that's the thing. It's
Fuck.
like you can't
sleep.
I'm so excited to figure out how this show's gonna end.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I can't figure out what the hell it's gonna be.
But that's why I think Gabby. I feel like Titans have to go away because like that is a part of like the hatred. Okay, sorry, let me start over. If Eren succeeds and kills all Eldians, then it doesn't matter. We can keep Titans forever. Or sorry, if Eren succeeds and kills the rest of the world and only Eldians live, we can keep Titans. It doesn't matter. If Eren fails, or they deter Eren from doing this, or they stop Eren, or they kill Eren, whatever, and the rest of the world lives, and he gets rid of all the Titans. Like, let's say they manage to figure that part out. The rest of the world is still going to hate Eldians for what they have done, and now they actually don't have a way to defend themselves.
Yeah.
So that's why like this is such a. I love this episode because there's so many like complicated points. Like there isn't. It's like an overthinker's worst nightmare because it's like you overthink every possible scenario and none of them end well. Like I don't see where this ends in like a really good way for like our cast. You know what I mean?
There's like a couple things I have in my head that I could see happening, but then when I say it out loud, I feel like some of them contradict other statements. Like we have the Helos thing that we talked about since Willie Tiber showed up. The idea of a false hero uniting people. Magath has talked at the start of the second half like we really need to have a Helos to unite behind, like the idea of either
a savior.
Either a metaphorical fake person that we can come up with, or maybe one of the people in our group. Voice crack. I know Reiner has been hinted at, and that we've thought of Reiner maybe being that person. We even thought that Eren might be specifically choosing Reiner to be that role because he let him live in Liberio. But when I see Eren coming to a close, I feel like Mikasa would be more poetically like made for that role of killing Eren.
At this point, yeah.
But that's where it's like, what role does Reiner play if Mikasa gets to be the one to kill Eren? And Mikasa doesn't have to be, but we were talking last week about the Ackerman blood and Levi's MIA, or for all intents and purposes, not probably going to be the one to go at Eren. And just story-wise, it doesn't seem like it would be something that the captain gets to do.
His goal is Zeke.
Like right now, the only three people I can really see killing Eren at this point is Mikasa, Armin, or Reiner. I feel like those are the three that mean the most to the show. Reiner, who's like the reverse Eren, Armin, who's his best friend, and Mikasa, who's a lover/sister.
Yeah. I mean, maybe it's something where it's like Mikasa defeats him, but Reiner
takes the
glory. Or either the killing blow or the glory for it.
And that works too, also because he's Marleyan and Eldian, so it could be like a story of
bridging the gap.
The Marleyans and the Eldians had a love child, showing the union of two worlds.
The destined savior and like
which could really work. I didn't even think of that.
That's a great point.
The fact that he's a half and half, that sounds so weird to say, but he's
mixed.
He's a tale of two cities in one person.
Yeah.
And could literally be that I feel like that's the most likely thing to happen for us.
Wouldn't Gabby be too? So she's related to him.
She's his cousin, so
same family, but I think
she's the pure Eldian side. His dad was the Marleyan.
Yeah. So yeah, I could see those two things happening. I agree with you. The Titans have. It's either one or two. It's a 50-50 for the Titan conclusion. Yeah. Either that. But actually, here's what I think. I feel like the Titans won't exist at the end, even if Eren does win. Because like, what is the purpose of them anymore? You don't need them to war if it's just Eldians. Maybe.
Conflict from within.
Maybe.
Yeah, but that's the thing. It's like,
Then we get the 80-year Titan War again.
Okay, I have a question for you guys.
Okay.
How far do you think Eren has seen into the future? I know it's bits and fragments from what we can make out, but how far do you think he knows? Do you think he's seen an end?
Probably to. I'm just gonna spitball. Maybe his death. He probably knows how he dies.
I mean, it's as much as
I don't see him surviving the end of the show.
Yeah. It's as much as he is willing to send back, because that's the whole thing. It's the future user sending information to the past user.
So then it would only be up to his death.
Well, no, it would be up to as much as because the future user, for example, Aaron showed Grisha very small fragments of what the future would be. So, but that's Aaron showing Grisha. So let's say there's an Attack Titan past Aaron. That means it's as much as that one is allowing him to see too, or as much as this Aaron that we are existing in now has shown to him.
So then
that's why it gets so confusing.
I want it to be Falco, and it's not going to be Falco.
Then are you saying that Titans will still exist even after this?
No, I'm not. I'm saying that it's a couple of things, but two of the options are either current Aaron, who is slithering across the ocean right now, or wherever he's at. He, right now, or whenever, I mean, we don't really know when he sends the memories back, but like whenever he decides to send those memories back to the user. So like, you right now having this conversation, me and you rewind yourself to a week ago when we watched last episode, and you send this conversation to yourself a week ago. So we only know he could be sending it all now, but also if there's a future user, like if someone beyond Aaron is the Attack Titan, they could be sending him stuff too. Right. So we don't know. You know what I mean? Like that's the part that's also. Just for clarification, like remember how I was saying that Aaron is the literal Attack Titan?
Yeah.
How the whole idea of freedom is the Attack Titan? Like, Aaron was able to send memories... We assume Aaron was able to send memories back to Aaron Kruger.
Yeah.
Because of Mikasa and Armin. Yeah. So what if Aaron is always... But, like, you can only send your memories to them. You know what I mean? So, like, you can't send... Like, Aaron, I don't think, can send Grisha's memories to Aaron Kruger. So, like...
It's just Aaron.
But if he could, we don't know, but I assume we don't, but if he could, maybe he was just going through all of history and sending all the memories. That's what I was trying to say a couple weeks ago. I don't know if I really made that very clear.
Yeah, okay, you just sparked something. Okay. Okay, yeah. So, bootstrap paradox time.
Yeah.
Okay. For anyone, I just had to fill in people who don't know bootstrap paradox.
Right here.
It is like if, trying to think of the best example of how to describe this. If on this drink, I can't say it because I'm not sponsored, it says my name's Sam, blah, 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 and you see that this was made by me. And then you find a teleporter to go back in time. And you take this with you, and you find me as a kid 10 years ago, and you say, hey, you're going to make this. And you give it to me. I go and I read the ingredients on this thing, and I just go and make more of them. I only made it because you brought it to me. The
future brought it back.
And so I guess the bootstrap is, where did this come from? Because we found it in present day. So where's the origin of this?
Yeah. Because it's like the future created the origin in the past, but the past is giving it to you, which is like, what is the origin? You know what I mean? It's like, where did this start?
The first Terminator.
Well, aka this drink has no origin. It is literally a thing that never had a beginning or an end, because it is simply always being made through time. So what will just hit in my head with Aaron, this makes so much sense. I feel like this has to be the answer. Aaron might literally have gone back, because you know how the king can set the rules of what your mindset is for...
And erase your memory.
Well, yeah, well, what if, now that he's the founding Titan, he goes back to the very first user, like you said, of the Attack Titan, and forces the law of the Attack Titan to be, you have to chase freedom. Because that's Aaron's love. So Aaron's literal desire from a child, because he's bound to take the Attack Titan, is created unknown. We don't know the origin of it. It's just an ever-present thing that Aaron... But instead of you giving it to me, it's Aaron just giving it to himself, really.
Yeah.
He goes back, gives it to somebody, who will then bring it to him one day.
Yeah.
And so that ever-present thing of freedom is just flowing in a circle. No origin point, but that craving he has... He is the Attack Titan, essentially, is what that is. You're so right in that statement.
Yeah, I mean, there's that. I feel like someone on Discord, just for fairness, though, was saying that, like, the Attack Titans, like, hope for freedom. I don't remember if it was in an episode or if somebody was saying on Discord, but they were spitballing that the freedom of the Attack Titan is, like, the longing of freedom that, like, Ymir has in herself. because she's like a slave. That somewhere deep inside of her, she does want to be free, but she's been born into this slave mentality, so she hasn't had it. But then again, still, it doesn't matter. If he's the founding titan, he can affect founding titan, or if he's the founding titan, he can affect all titans. There is a chance that he might have been able to affect Ymir as well.
Eren might have been the one to set the rules in place at the beginning with the hallucinogen, whatever the hell people are called.
Yeah.
What is it called?
I don't know.
The hallucinogenic
pathogen?
worm? The worm
The
thing?
pathogen,
You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Maybe he was the one who set the law in place. So, Eren, we need you to explain why only 9 titans.
Yeah. I mean, like, I don't know. I feel like that might be too much of, like,
It's a little too sci-fi to get explained right now.
Yeah, it might be a little too sci-fi, but it's also just a fun thought just to have. Even if it's never answered, it's one of the things where I'm like, I can kind of...
I'm satisfied
Yeah,
with that.
even if it is. But
Damn.
this episode...
Breakdown.
Yeah.
Start in the beginning. Jean. Okay, we got what I wanted. We saw how
Modern paradise.
Well, how Jean was included in the mission. Because all last episode, I was like, how would he know? When was the time where he met whoever came and told him, hey, we're with Marley now? Hanji showed up.
Hanji showed up and said, hey, Jean, I'm going to be outside. Come out, I need to talk to you. And he was sitting there covering his ears, and he's like, you didn't hear anything. You didn't hear anything. You're going to live your life with your wife and kid in the interior, drinking, being happy and comfortable. Like, he was trying to block out, like, what
was happening in reality right now.
What was happening in reality, but also, like, his conscience of, like, don't actually go do... You know what I mean? Like, his conscience is like, no, you need to go fight. You are a scout. You know, Marco died. Like, you need to do these things.
I do love that even in his, like, vision, it's
Mikasa is the wife.
So he still really likes Mikasa.
Yeah. Of course he does.
Of course he does.
Adam, that's you. That's
Yeah.
you. Jean is a hybrid of you and me. He is who I feel most connected to on the show, and he is you via the love for Mikasa.
Yeah.
I thought that little, like, vision he had was cool.
Awesome.
It looked like Italy.
It did.
Yeah, didn't it? Like, it looked like he was going to get some Sicilian pizza or something.
Yeah.
He's just chilling.
I wonder if that's like the manga readers are freaking out. Like that was some because the whole Gothic Mikasa thing. I wonder if that was something else.
Oh yeah. Well, I mean, if you can think it exists in the multiverse.
True.
So there is a world out there where Jean is living in Italy, Italian paradise.
Yeah. And then we had Hanji meeting with Mikasa and Jean, trying to give them like the rundown of like what's been happening. Where she was at. Telling them about her, like, not the plan, but like, hey, we need as many people together. And then Jean and her butting heads over whether to allow Eren to do this or to stop genocide, because in Hanji's words, genocide is wrong no matter what, and we can't justify it.
Yeah. And she said, I don't really want to have to think too long on it because I shouldn't be trying to look for an excuse to
Allow
justify
this,
it.
yeah.
Like, there shouldn't be a conversation on the piece. It should simply be...
But this
it
is
shouldn't be
wrong.
like a gray, like, here's the thin line between genocide, like, why it's right. It's strictly one or the other. There's no middle ground on explaining it.
Yeah.
Which is fair.
I will say, though, and I know we talked about it in our, like, 20-minute rant that we had in the beginning, but, like, Jean brings up good points in the sense of, like, if we stop this, like... And I said it in the reaction, I'm like, the aftermath of what's to come is going to be, like, completely unfixable. There is going to be no way to, like, that's the thing I'm just so curious about with the show. It's like, where do we find... I don't expect this to have a happy ending by any means. You know what I mean?
It's really weird because I feel like things are becoming so optimistic at the end of the world. But I don't want it to be so horrible now. I used to be so pessimistic. I used to think a God Titan was going to kill everything. I don't want that now.
Yeah.
We've come so far. All our heroes are together now.
Well, but this is the problem. I don't even think that the problem is, like, everyone dying. It's just that if our heroes succeed, the problems that exist in this world will still exist. Which is life, of course, but I mean,
if you were going to say... like there'd be peace at the end of this. No fucking way.
Well, of course there's not going to be peace.
Peace without war.
But the problem is that the treatment of the Eldian people is still going to
Be the same.
Yeah. And that's the part that's going to, unless they manage to get Eren to be on their side, and Eren's like, listen, world, I will talk to like whoever the rulers of their countries are, release all of your Eldians that are in concentration camps and send them to my island as living humans, not as Titans. They can live out their lives here. We stay on our border, you guys stay on yours, and we're good. And that's the only way I think that this turns out peaceful. But I don't see Eren. I know that you're hopeful for Eren changing for Mikasa and Armin. Or you said out of all people they would be the ones to be able to convince him. I just don't see it happening.
So the convincing wasn't for the killing of people, but like the getting rid of Titans. That's what I was thinking.
Yeah.
Oh, so you didn't
Like,
think they'd
can
be
you
able
at
to
least-
convince him to stop fighting?
I don't think so.
Yeah, there's no way. He's too far gone for that.
It's just I hate this kind of stuff because yeah, you're right. We've already talked about this like 5 times over, but like war will always exist. Conflict will always exist as long as people are alive. But we are so, the discrimination of this world against each other is so heightened that it feels like it's like gonna be so hard to reverse it. Like the blood ties go so deep. There's so much dirt on everybody's hands.
Yeah.
Like they said, 2,000 years of pure carnage against each other. So,
Yeah.
What if...
Wait, before you do that, the camera.
I'll see you in 2,000 years.
Wow.
That worked out really well. You were gonna say, you said, so what if?
What if Eren does what the Fritz did and they just flee to another island that nobody knows exists?
But what happens when people discover?
Dead on day. Where are we gonna go?
No, I mean maybe. I feel like Paradise was just created by the Fritzes.
That's a fair point.
They
So
go to
what if they just do it again? Because what was the reason the king fled in the first place?
To have temporary peace. Well, it was like a.
They had like some type of agreement that he was gonna go over there and like fuck off.
They felt overwhelming guilt of the sins of their ancestors, so they made a pact to run away, build walls, but should the day come that death comes to their doors, they will accept it and die.
See,
essentially,
you know what?
So weird.
What I don't understand about that, I've actually never understood about that moment. Why did they make the colossal Titan walls?
Yeah.
Why put a defense up?
Why would you put a defense up if you're like, hey, whatever death comes my way, come my way?
Yeah.
Like, why not just stay in Marley and die?
No. I understand them separating themselves just because like they want to give like their people a chance to like don't remember anything, just live your life, and when calamity comes. Yeah. But why did they set up walls with essentially 100 million nukes or 60 million nukes inside of them? You know what I mean? I understand that people are probably going to be like, well, it's just the practicality. Colossals make high walls. Well, what if they just decided that they were going to...
They were the land.
Bro, the fact that Fritz, sacrificed 10 million LDNs to make those walls.
Oh, that's so fucked. So fucked.
Yeah.
But, why
That's
wouldn't
so
they
weird.
just... Why? I mean, Eren was able to make, crystallized wall all the way up from the roof to the ceiling. Why didn't he just, make that? Why didn't they just do that 100 million times?
It seems like they had to flee with whatever resources they had available. Because it seemed like they were limited in Paradise with what they could do.
Aliens Founding can change genetics. Why does that
It's
matter?
potholes.
I know. I'm just
potholes that are too far from fixing, I feel like.
I know, but the show's done such a good job of not having many, if any. I can't really think of one off the top of my head that's a plot hole. But why would you even make the colossal titans in the walls?
And why?
Because that's literally a prerequisite, or not a prerequisite, but this is you're stacking a weapon that you don't want used.
Well, why allow the Tibers to stay and rule like kings or live like kings? Why are they so special? Why does King Fritz decide that they're a good family, that they get to just live in peace while everybody else has to suffer in Marley? Why? Because the king is royal blood and had the founding, so he has the power that Eren has via Zeke right now. If he's also powerful, why not just do something? You have the power at your hands, and you're not Hopefully you're not a
Using it.
psycho like an Aaron, and you do that.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know.
It's very odd.
It's very odd. I don't really fully understand the whole Fritz thing. But back to the episode.
Yeah. We get to
Yeah.
the campfire.
We got to the campfire, and we have the union of Marley and Paradise, and wherever Anya Capone is from. And we start talking it out. Where does the conversation start?
It starts with Magath and Jean shitting on each other. You know,
Yeah.
Magath being like, I can't believe you devils are coming to help us. You know, he's like, why are we devils? Because we defended ourselves from you guys attacking us. And then he talks about the 2,000-year history. And then, you know, they end up calming down and getting to a place where they can at least all sit together. Because at first, during that whole argument, even like Connie, Armin, and Mikasa are all just like standing. Like they won't even sit down.
Yeah, I love all the opinion pieces right there, because all of them make sense, but they all get a counter in the end where it's like, you're a devil. Well, why?
I'm so tired of hearing that word.
Well, because you attacked us in Liberia. Well, you did it because... Well, we did it because you brought Titans to our doorsteps and knocked down our walls. Well, here's 2,000 years of history. Oh, you want to use 2,000 years of history on people who never were alive during that period? All very great points. All very fair points. And then who was at the end who was like, how about we just not?
It was Hanji. Hanji was like, we're all arguing and talking about stuff that none of us were alive or around for.
Yeah.
Yeah. And, when Maggie says they're devils, I think it's still like, he doesn't think they are exclusively devils and no one else is... Like, because he said to Willie Tyber, we're all devils in this. He said, yeah, you might be a devil as an Eldian, but so am I as a Marleyan. But we'll shake hands all the same and go through with this plan.
Yeah.
So, I think he was just using it as a jab. I don't think I don't think he means it like a Marleyan might mean it towards Jean.
Yeah. And then, I mean, like, that's when we got into, like, them kind of, like, hashing out, you know, like, Magath also hashed out, like, you know, we wouldn't be in this situation if you guys didn't step in. Like, we literally would have separated Zeke and Aaron if you guys didn't jump into it.
Yeah.
And then Hanji, like, clarified, like, they didn't know, but none of us knew what Aaron's plan was. Like, shut the hell up. And then from there, it was just kind of... Then it was Annie and Mikasa butting heads, you know, about what are you going to do about Aaron? Like, what are you guys willing to do at that point? And Annie made a great point. It's like, we're going to get to the end, and you guys are going to end up fighting us because we're going to try and kill Aaron, and you're not going to want us to do that. So it's going to be infighting, even in the end at this point as well.
Mm-hmm.
But Mikasa was ready to go right there. So was Annie, but Annie had, you know, she states that, like, you know, we all need to, like, work together at this point if we're going to succeed.
You know, that infighting that is possible to occur towards the end, if it does happen, it reminds me a lot of, if anyone's ever played, like, role-playing games, when you don't do your due diligence to, like, buff your characters before you get to the end of the main plot, you tend to fail the main plot or your characters die in the process. Without spoiling 3, 2, 1 for a video game called Mass Effect, that exact scenario happens if you don't, like, properly evolve your characters by the end point. And it could very well be that we progress, but maybe not far enough, so by the time we get to Aaron, the reason we failed the end of the day might be because we don't come to a final conclusions on agreement notes by the time we get to him. Like, we just still at the end of the day have our own bitter, centralized agendas that we all have. Like, Annie wanted to look out for her father. Kind of like the stuff that Connie did, like when the rumbling started happening, going and looking for his mom instead of his friend, caring for his friends. Gabby and Falco maybe breaking off and doing their own thing because they have the power of the Titans. Like, and Armin and Mikasa maybe staying behind or ditching everybody to try to kill or save Aaron.
Yeah.
Do you think it will be horrible when it gets there, or do you think will have a chance to have characters leveled up, ready to go for the final quest?
I think we're going to lose some characters.
I mean, we're going to have
for sure.
We're going to have to lose some people.
Connie, for sure.
I feel like...
Yeah. Do you think so?
Mm-hmm.
How do you think it'll happen?
He's never been good at killing Titans, right? He was when we did the Tower episode. He missed him and Sasha.
Him and Sasha were like.
So I feel like it'll be something like that. It'll just repeat or redemption for Falco. He'll sacrifice himself to save him.
Fair. To be fair, Connie was the only one who hit his shot against Reiner and Shigashina, where everybody else missed. So he redeemed himself for me back in that day. But
I think also random sidebar. Just we keep bringing up Aaron trying to get him back to normal. I wonder if that'll be like the only way we can reason with Aaron is one of his friends that he's trying so hard to protect dying.
Exactly.
To stop him.
Wakes him up.
Like, what is this all for if Mikasa dies? What is this all for if Armin dies? Isn't it for them? It's and we even learned more recently that it seems like he doesn't really even care about Eldians. He just cares about his group.
Yeah,
it seems like like he doesn't care about Flock. I don't think. I think he ego boosted him by giving him, hey, here's the knowledge of what's going to happen 8 months from now. So Flock's been on this like ego trip thinking he's like the hot shit because he was chosen by God with knowledge. I don't think Aaron cares about him. I mean, Aaron let other Eldians die in the rumbling so far.
Right.
People died because there were people under the rubble.
I just remembered that. Remember, he told Zeke to wait before he screamed.
Yeah.
He didn't want those
because
people to change.
It's people in his vicinity.
Yeah,
people he cares about, John and Connie.
But then it happened, and it's like he doesn't give a shit.
Well, I mean, I think it's because it's.
I think he cares about his friends.
Well, he literally said wait because he didn't want him to do it because it's not just his friends. It's the island as a whole. His people. He does reference specifically his friend group, but him stopping at like don't call the Titans, I think is a show that he does care about the island as a whole, the people of Paradis Island.
But I feel like that's just because in the immediate facility is people he cares about. Like if they start shouting and Titans start coming out, there's a chance that Jean and Connie could die in that moment. Like people in his immediate vicinity. I'm just saying because there are Eldians who died as a result of the rumbling, which, to be fair, you could say is an expendable because Aaron got his head shot off, and the only way to come back was starting the rumbling.
I think that it's part of. I think part of it is stuff that wasn't expected.
Casualties of war.
Who's to say Ymir's not also playing a part in this as well?
I don't know.
Right?
I don't know where she is,
and Zeke too,
or how free she is.
Yeah. What if she took over
the body?
Yeah, and this is just some thoughts that she liked that Aaron had, and she was like, "Oh, play this."
Well, that's why we're gonna have to see when we get to the monster.
Yeah.
We're gonna have to look and see how much of it does it feel like Aaron? Does it feel like Zeke? Does it feel like Ymir?
Mm-hmm.
Or is it all three hybrided together?
I think considering we heard Aaron talk to everybody, I'm pretty sure it's just Aaron.
Yeah,
that's just me, but
I'm just saying.
That's what
I don't know. I just want to see what Ymir's doing.
Well, to this day, I still think Ymir might be the reason the consciousness gets shifted, or like they might not fully be who they used to be once they became a shifter. Like shadows of their prior shell.
So yeah.
We got a little bit of Yelena. We learned that she's
is Marleyan.
Yeah, she just built a fantasy so when the world got rewritten, she would be an elevated person in history.
She wanted to be admired.
She wanted status.
And she loved Zeke.
Yeah, she wanted to be
a princess.
Princess with Zeke as the prince.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, sure, fine. Power grab. That's just all she is at the end of the day, I guess.
Yeah, scummy. It's just weird. Never liked her.
She fantasized about him. And that's it, I guess.
Yeah, I'm just curious, was all of this... Okay, so here's my confusion. Is it always just been a passion of trying to be, like, an important person? Or did she actually fall in love with Zeke in the way that she said? You know what I mean? Like, she was like, oh, I saw him as the Beast Titan. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's like, how does a normal Marleyan person, like, come in contact with that? We don't know how often the Titans do things and like how open it is for like a normal person to see it, but you know what I mean. Like it's just like how did she like?
Well, the story went like it seemed like she was in transport somewhere, and the Beast awoke out of the sea or like was on a mission and stopped a bunch of ships passing and saved her from her doom, and that's where she fell in love with this entity.
That's what they just said this episode, or was that from?
That's when she shared to Levi and Hanji
Yeah.
when we got to meet her.
Right.
But It could be like a fusion of a lie and a truth. Like she really was always in Marley. She saw that he would go and do these missions and found him to be this godlike entity who might have still promised things to her and a bunch. Because I think Zeke did go and round up people that he wanted to promise a future for. Because people knew about Zeke's agenda. They were the ones who spread the wine.
Zekeists.
Yeah, I was gonna say, didn't they say Zeke had a lot of followers in Marley?
It was all those. It was all the Anya Capone group.
Yeah.
For the most part, all those guys who he liberated from nations. I think.
Yeah.
Right? When did that happen? When did Zeke go on some exploration and liberating nations? Like,
I don't know.
I'm very confused about it. I gotta rewatch that. I don't really remember how Anya came into the picture.
She was on a warship.
Her and Anya.
Well, they came to the. They took a boat like secretly.
Yeah.
And then next part in the episode we got, Yelena talking about everybody except for like Connie.
And Anya.
Connie and Anya Capone and
Their
Levi
death count.
about like their death count, what they've done, and Falco too. She didn't talk about Falco because the only ones that haven't really gotten there. Levi's gotten his hands dirty, but the rest of them haven't.
Didn't say anything about Hanji.
Hanji as well.
Wouldn't you technically say Hanji's plan was to nuke the port?
Oh yeah, I mean like
she pressed the button.
Yeah, she was the one that was all for that, or not all for it, but was part of making that a reality.
Yelena was in on the plan too.
Yeah.
Well, I think Yelena is just
I'm the good guy. You guys are all the bad ones.
Well, it's not that, but like can't cast a stone from a glass house type of thing. Like, don't start shitting on me like I'm a horrible person because because I helped Zeke and Aaron. And I knew about this plan all along, when all you fuckers have got blood on your hands at this point, Eldian and Marleyan alike. But she introduced the whole Marco bit. Not a bit, I'm sorry. The whole Marco story and what actually happened. And Annie and Reiner didn't like that they did that in that moment either. They looked visibly choked up by it when it happened and currently in this very present moment.
Reiner said he killed that Titan that killed Marco.
Apparently, we never saw
that.
Apparently, that's what happened.
I mean, that makes
Marco was covered in the goop, and half of him was missing, right?
He wasn't covered in goop, but there was a goop ball of flesh nearby, but he was just his body was bit in half.
Okay.
Yeah. Which makes sense because like the Titan probably would have just eaten him whole.
Yeah.
Why would he have only eaten half of him, or why would it?
But didn't they say back then they don't have a digestive system? They just cough up shit.
Yeah, but why would you stop?
I think Titans like
man. Wasn't that hungry that day?
maybe. I think Titans like it. It's weird because I feel like they have an innate knowledge that they have to go after a shifter.
Yeah.
Like they get excited when one is present because they go after Aaron. They immediately go after Ymir at the castle when they get the chance, and they all like jump immediately on her. So Marco's not one, but Titans still eat if they don't know. So I would assume he would have still tried to eat Marco, but Reiner slashed the neck out of rage because he had the
split personality thing he was going on.
Although Jean was like didn't want to hear the justification for like his PTSD. He's like, no, I don't want to know. He doesn't want to humanize Reiner. He's just because he's pissed.
Yeah. And I mean, like it culminated in him trying to apologize and Jean literally beating him to death. Basically, I mean did he smash his eyeballs? Like,
yeah, his eye sockets were crushed, and he knocked some teeth out too. He fucked his shit.
Disgusting.
Reiner's lucky that he can grow those back.
Yeah, he's super lucky he can heal himself.
He kicked Gabby, who's not a Titan.
Yeah, and all of them everybody was trying to stop him, and he ended up kicking Gabby, and that's kind of like when it snapped out. When he snapped out
her rib cage.
Probably did, or at least bruised her ribs. But yeah, Gabby and Falco pleaded with him to like help. Like, can you guys please help us? Like, we're so like, we have done bad things as well. We wanted the death of your people, but like now because of what we've done and what our people have done, now Aaron is going to kill all of our families. Like, please, will you help us? And Jean seemed like he wasn't going to do it. and then come morning, they all pack their bags and they go to.
What if he's starting to experience what Reiner went through?
What do you mean?
Because they're doing a lot. Because it cut to him in the woods behind a tree, and he was still covering his ears.
I think it's just
that's
the fact.
just him.
It's just like pent up anger.
Yeah.
And like the fact that he wants to blame somebody, but at the end of the day, it's like you gotta move on. That's because if you just you stay in the hate, you end up just becoming more of what you're trying to get rid of.
I think also the covering the ears thing is him just trying to block out like.
It was very windy and the leaves were going crazy.
It's trying to block out
noise.
everything, like the people fight, arguing, talking, all that stuff.
Because the Marco stuff stayed with him too, so it's hard to know that tomorrow I have to mature a bit and be like, all right, guys, we're doing this thing.
Yeah.
Like I have to just let the Marco stuff waste away into the wind because we need Reiner and we need Annie.
Didn't bring it up earlier in the Jean Hanji conversation. I love that we got to see Erwin and Meech and all those people.
The ghosts.
We didn't even bring that up because we brushed over it, but also seeing Marco was like awesome as well. Cool. And Jean saying like I'm forever a scout was that was great.
Yeah, honestly, not until editing did I even realize Erwin was in the last episode. I know you brought it up that Armin pulled an Erwin with the mouth of Connie's mom because it flashed to Erwin.
Oh yeah,
I had no idea. He looked so weird in the art style. I thought it was just a scout charging.
This is Mappa now.
I know.
Yeah.
Today it looked like Erwin. I was like, oh, they did my boy dirty. When I went back and saw that, I was like, oh no, he looks good here.
Yeah.
Don't mess up Erwin. I will have beef with Mappa if they mess up my favorite guy. Don't do that.
But they went out to go to this port somewhere on the island that was 5 hours away to get the flying boat, as they called it in the episode.
Yeah. What the fuck?
I think that's just the way they.
It's one of those like lake boats.
That's what it was.
Because that appeared in the episode that clan showed up to have that weird Mikasa episode with the tattoo.
Yeah.
That was there when they showed up, but we never talked about it.
Don't
it was there and we were gone.
Yeah.
Airboat?
It was that episode where the old lady shows up and Levi says, "You're lucky you're even being able to look at Eren right now," or something like that.
Yeah.
It might have been Yelena. I don't know. It's been a while.
Yeah, no, but anyways, they had the boat there, the plane, the ride to witness the rumbling, but they're going to use that to transport them to Eren. The problem is finding Eren without running out of fuel, and our new problem, Cartitan has found out, Flock's Jaegerists have captured the port,
Flock's dying next week.
I know. I was gonna say,
and Flock
he
has the same lady captured.
Good, kill them both. I don't like either of them.
Yeah.
She's not done anything wrong other than being
maybe we'll try to get
shifty.
Her military to help out.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Then we gotta see if we can get a plane going through all the rumbling without a colossal going yeet and slapping it.
There was also a good amount of boats there too, and there's a battleship.
Yeah.
Yeah,
True.
Well,
that will make for a fun water episode, killing the colossals with
some
cannons.
Godzilla shit.
Some shooting some napes.
Yeah. I really hope Flock is dead next episode.
How does he have this many guys?
Yeah.
And how he got to the port that fast?
The locomotive. They took a train.
Shit, they had that train built.
Also, Jaegerists. I mean, if you're not a Jaegerist, you're not.
You don't have to hide. They can freely roam. They are the numbers of the island.
Yeah, I mean, everybody on the island seems like they are on the Jaegerist side at this point, or for the most part. And if they're not, they're getting convinced to. You know what I mean?
Or they're imprisoned.
You know what I forgot we even have? I forgot cars existed back during Grisha's era.
They're over there in Marley.
But I feel like we didn't really see many cars when we were in modern day Liberia.
Yeah, we did.
There was Willie and Maggie.
They rode one.
They rode one. It's just weird, like I forget.
Were they? Or was it not a horse carriage?
I thought it was a horse carriage, but even still, like I forget that cars exist, regardless.
Yeah. There was tanks too.
Yeah, but it's just like I forget.
Yeah.
That those things exist because we hardly spend time out there.
I think it was a car. I think the horse carriage thing you're thinking of is Erwin and was it Nile or
they have horse carriages on Paradise.
No, I know what I'm saying.
I know exactly what you're talking
scene,
about. Yeah.
the scene you're thinking of is that. I'm pretty sure it was a car.
That was like season 1.
Magath and them.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Fuck, we have 3 episodes left.
4.
I'm hoping. Do we? If anyone knows, I can't read the comments. Never mind. I was gonna ask. Like, do we have any new updates on the finale? Is it just a finale? It doesn't matter. Frick.
I was saying Discord, but even then, I want to check.
Yeah, maybe I guess I'll do a little going for the surprise. We'll see if it's. I feel like it's gonna.
We'll make an
I feel like
announcement.
it's just gonna be hard to wrap up everything in 4 episodes. You know. I don't think it can happen in 4 episodes.
And I don't want it to be the last 2 episodes or the last.
Well, you don't want to rush it because, like,
Right.
think of it. We
Don't
got
throw
the deal.
this.
It seems like next episode is dealing with Flock and the port, unless they just make it a
Absolutely.
quick 5-minute fight. At most, I feel like we get to Aaron by the end of the next episode. We fight everybody at the port. We get in the plane, maybe in the second half, and we see that what Aaron actually looks like.
Yeah.
But then we have 3 episodes to defeat him,
Yeah.
and they can't defeat him.
And then just end the story.
Well, I feel like you can't have Rumbling and not have one nation crushed by it.
Yeah.
You can't build up the hype and have not a single nation touched by it. You can.
Yeah.
You can. I don't want that because you can't build it up for 4 freaking seasons and not have some tragedy occur from.
Mm-hmm.
Once again,
Yeah.
you can.
It would just suck.
Be stupid.
It would suck.
It would be stupid. I will see if Annie Leonhardt's father, his jujitsu, paid
Worked,
off.
yeah.
And if some Eldians are able to escape before it hits them. Yeah, that's about it. Y'all have anything else?
I do, but I'm gonna save it for the finale.
No.
Yeah.
Why?
Because I have
The
thoughts.
finale?
I have thoughts about this show, but I'll reserve my thoughts
a month from now?
Yeah, for a month already. We'll wait.
Oh, well, guys, you'll have to wait for that. So, guys, if you enjoy this reaction, make sure you leave a like on it. If you enjoy our post talk, please support us. Subscribe to us. It's free. You get to see more of our stuff. We're going to be doing tons of other animes. We're going to be doing tons of live action. Check out our monthly schedule we have set up for you. Check out the Patreon if you want to support us. And we will see you next week for Shingeki Day. And farewell. Bye-bye.
Bye!
Shingeki Day. Hey, hey, hey.